President Muhammadu Buhari would be hosted by the U.S. President Donald Trump in the evening of Monday, April 30th, at the White House. Expectations are quite high as Nigerians, and indeed Africans, are anticipating impatiently what the two leaders are going to talk about. In this piece, we highlights 5 things that may be on the agenda when President Buhari eventually meets President Trump at the White House. Security. Restoring Nigeria's security is one of the cardinal promises which brought President Buhari to power. However, 3 years into his presidency, the situation seems not to be getting better. Nigeria's security is continuously being threatened by series of unrest, terrorism, herdsman-farmers clashes, inter-tribal violence, etc. Thus, President Buhari is likely to discuss with President Trump how the United States can help Nigeria in its fight against terrorism. Besides, President Buhari just paid $496 million to the U.S. government for the purchase of 2 Kano fighter jets to fight terrorism. So, it is expected he will bring up the issue at the White House. Economy. As part of his administration's effort to revive the country's economy, President Buhari is also likely to discuss with President Trump how the two countries can strike a strategic partnership to promote economic growth and reforms. The bilateral relations between Nigeria and the United States of America used to be very strong. The relationship, however, suffered little breakdown during the previous administration, prior to the inauguration of Buhari as president. Hence, President Buhari may bring to the White House table how Nigeria can reclaim its position as the United States' greatest trading partner and most important diplomatic partner. Immigration. Nigeria and other African countries are the most affected by the United States' unfriendly immigration policies under President Trump. So, President Buhari may discuss with Trump how he can help redesign his policies to better suit Nigerian and African immigrants. Trump's Africa policy issues. 2 years into his presidency, President Trump has not come up with a substantive decision concerning his administration's Africa policy. While it is true that President Donald Trump was elected on a promise to always put America first, inviting President Buhari may be a slight shift which will bring up discussions on Africa-related issues.